Project 2025 is failing. This is a multi-part series on YouTube only. Definitely want to subscribe here because I have playlists that go over really deep stuff like the thievery in the White House. What's Trump's really real plans for grifting in America? What's Elon's real plans? It's called Elon's Evil Plans, another playlist. One called Constitutional Crisis, one called Election Fraud. Well, this one is talking about how Project 2025 is actually failing. See, some people are running around telling people, well, they've already completed 35% of Project 2025. No. Let me straighten you out and you share this with everybody you can, liberals. They have not. They've tried in the last 5 weeks of his presidency to share and try to attack on a basis to say they're winning. Here's why we know they're losing. Almost 20 judges, as I speak on this, have ruled against him. Only one win he's had, and that is to offer a buyout for federal employees. Everything else has been knocked down. Oh, but Darren, he's fired the CIA, FBI. Nope, they sued, they won. Oh, well, he did this against lawyers and bars. Nope, the American Bar Association sued and won. ACL is suing. Even Quakers are suing. You got college students suing. You got class action suits with Representative Raskin. Oh, it's on and on. And the attorney generals and AGs from up to 22 states are suing. Almost half the union. And they're winning. Birthright citizenship, migrants, immigrants, DEI. Hey, in the last 24 hours, a federal judge struck down a lot of his policies on DEI. Again, anti-DEI. And they also struck him down initially with the Supreme Court. They were trying to fire this watchdog guy, and the lower courts struck it down. And then as soon as they got into the proceedings, even though the Supreme Court still needs to rule on it at the end of the month, they said initially, no, we're not going to fire this guy while we're ruling on this. Okay, only 2 of the Supreme Court judges was in Trump's favor. Yes, the very conservative Supreme Court. No, by the way, do you know that the lower courts have been majority conservatives, like Bush appointees, Reagan appointees, and even Trump appointees? No, he's not winning. He's doing a lot of stuff, but he's not winning. Now, as I record this, he just fired 2 of the top military officers. One is a 4-star admiral who's a woman for the Navy, highly decorated and highly deserved. Another one is a black man named Charles Brown Jr. The lady is named Lisa. I always mess up her name, either Fanucci or something. I'm sorry. My apologies. My apologies, ma'am. But all respects, here's the point I'm trying to get you to understand. They are being fired in the last 12 hours of me recording this. But here's the good news. Every federal employee they've tried to fire, the federal government said, nope, boom, illegal. Everything from FBI, CIA has won their job back. The IRS got fired last week. They're going to win their job back. Said there was over performance review. The problem is they didn't give them a performance review. So how can you say they were fired for bad performance when they never got a performance review? Then you had the USAID employees by the thousands who came back. They got their jobs. The inspector generals, the 18 inspector generals they tried to fire, got those back. And in the Supreme Court, the watchdog guy who got his job back from the lower courts. And the interesting part about that is, again, Bush, Reagan, and Trump appointee lower court Fed judges ruled against him, and they couldn't initially in the Supreme Court get him fired again while they officially rule over it permanently. He's looking bad. Project 2025, all this stuff he's introducing. You talking about getting rid of Medicaid? Yeah, how you going to do that in front of all of these red Republican states? Right now, you got MAGA people who are sounding off across the nation in all the town hall meetings. And they're like, no, you're getting rid of free lunches. No, you're getting rid of child care. No, you're getting rid of our Medicaid. No, I mean, as of April 1st, he's trying to get rid of Medicare paying for telehealth sessions. And the problem is, I mean, what about the elderly or the disabled who can't get to the hospital doctor? You see what I'm saying? Everything that he's ruling against, the judges are ruling back. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, he could ignore the whole thing. And what about that? Well, remember, we have three branches of government. We are a decentralized nation. The president don't rule this nation. No. The president, the courts, and the Congress rule the nation. The reason Elon Musk is going to jail, and he is, I guarantee you, is because he's broken the law 15 plus times, going into departments he has no clearance on, other than, yeah, the president said he could. The president's setting that fool up. How do we know? Because the last person to be on the cover of Time was Steve Bannon. He had to pardon him. And Steve Bannon can't even come back to the government. See, whether Elon goes to official jail or not, I don't care. Just get his ass away from our data and get the Doge people away. And here's the way they're going to get them. They're going to set up the Doge people, these 19, 20-year-old kids, and they're going to be like, listen, you want to be in jail until you're 70? You don't want to mess around. Tell us what this guy did. And they start talking about stuff that he's done. It's going to be ugly. They're whistleblowing. And please let them tell about what happened with the election. Oh, that'll get interesting. Now, going back to this Project 2025, everything that he's tried to throw has been in the last 5 weeks. Why has he tried to rapidly do that in 200, when he's got over 200 weeks to go? Why has he done that when he got 47 months, over 1,400 days? Here's what we figured out. The most gangster thing he could have did is what the Chinese did with Hong Kong. You remember that? They took over Hong Kong, and Hong Kong was like, oh, shit, we ready. They protesting in the streets. They fighting back. China was like, oh, cool, no problem. Yeah, protest. No, you ain't going to get attacked. You good. In other words, they were quiet about it and slowly changed things while they were resting. They made it slowly where they could control them and shut stuff down. Because the Chinese are smart as fuck. They are smart. They played that real smooth. And the analysts, a couple of them have been like, you know what? I'm not afraid of this. It seems crazy that what Trump's trying to do. But if he was really gangster and trying to do something, I'd really be afraid of him if he tried to slowly change things. If he tried to change things, make friends across the aisle. If he tried to slowly make changes without doing them overnight rapid speed. But this way, it's rapid fire, and he's been missing. It's like that boxer who didn't throw in all those punches, but they've had no effect on his opponent. Because what's happening is the judges are ruling against him. I mean, he's lost 19 out of 20 court cases. Remember when he was trying to get the 2020 election? How many cases did he lose then? 60, 100%. Don't tell me Project 2025 is happening. No, just because he wrote it in the executive order. Do you know what he wrote in the executive order? He said that I am the law. I get to say what the law is. You know they got this thing called, what they call it, Constitution? You don't get to be the law. The judicial branch determines the law. The Congress makes the law. Now, I know in the back of your head as you've been listening to this, but Darren, Bondi is the DOJ. Oh, they're going to fuck her up too. Let me explain how that goes. This is how Bondi can go to jail. How Bondi can be in bonds, all right? Bondi going to need bail bond. Here's how it's going to happen. If Trump keeps pushing this, and I don't think he'll push it that far because I think he's a punk ass, him and Vance, but if they push this, the courts are going to hold them in contempt. In contempt means they can get marshals and federal police to come after them. And you say, but Pam Bondi's over the police and she'll tell the marshals to stop. Then she's in contempt. Well, who's going to arrest her? Well, that's when the federal police, whether it's marshals, FBI, whoever, that's when they got a decision to make. Do I be in trouble with the federal courts or with Trump? Here's the difference. And I talk about this in my other playlist, Constitutional Crisis. So definitely look at that. It's a multi-part playlist. Here's the thing. If they go after the president and say, we're going to send marshals after the president, they didn't warn them. That's why I know he's a punk ass, because he didn't do all this shit with the election just so he can go to jail as the president. He going to back off. But let's say he doesn't. Let's say he want that smoke. Here's the problem. Marshall's going to come after him. But wait, Darren, Pam Bondi's going to stop him. Well, they're going to come after her. Well, wait a minute. What if they don't? They might get fired. Here's the choice that the federal police has. Either A, follow what the judge says, or B, follow what Trump says. If they follow Trump and say, I'm not going to arrest nobody because that's what I was told, fuck the federal court order. If they do that, now they're targets. You say so? It's like, okay, here's the thing about the police. And anybody who's watching this, who's the police, comment below. You know I'm telling the truth. There are 3 types of cops, okay? 3 types when we talk about following the law. Well, 4. The 4th one is Training Day. Denzel, they ain't following no law. I ain't talking about them right now. I'm talking about the cops that are liberal, who can't stand Trump, and regardless, they will go in there and arrest him or anybody else on behalf of the courts because they want to see him go down. The conservatives, who ain't going to do that, who believe in Trumpism, believe in Trump and what he's done. And then, cops, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. There are cops who don't give a fuck, who are bipartisan, who will go and do it because the law and the Constitution, they believe that so fucking much. These are cops who don't have any big careers or big names. I'd be surprised if it was a big name person. It's going to be a nobody. I told everybody weeks ago, months ago, that Elon was going to jail, and what's going to get him is going to be a federal person, a prosecutor, a nobody out of Omaha, out of Seattle, out of Nebraska, they're not going to be a big name or nothing. They're just going to not like this guy, hunt him down, say, fuck it, it's the law, I'm coming after you. And that's the type of motherfuckers we're going to have that are going to stand on the Constitution. So when the judge says, go do that shit, they going to do that shit because it's the law. Fuck bipartisanism or whatever. Whether they liberal or conservative, fuck that. You know them guys, cops. You know who I'm talking about. The one who's going to arrest because they don't give a fuck. They don't care about the politics behind it. Fuck it. Those are the ones who going to do it. And we got a lot of cops. A lot. And everybody, listen, they going to stand on business. So there's that. But there's one other thing they got to think about. Yes, the constitutionalists, the people who are going to protect the law, the people who might be anti-Trumpers, yes, they'll stand behind that. I don't know if they outline, if they're the majority in the police or not. But if you think about it, wow, look at what they recently did to the police and let all them fucking 1,500 people that assaulted the police get pardoned. Police ain't feeling 100% for Trump right now. But yes, there's still people going to protect him. Here's the thing you got to think about. Other than the bipartisan cops and the ones that are anti-Trump, here's the killer part. They got a choice. They're between a rock and a hard place. This is what you really, really waited for. It's personal interest. And that's from Bondi down. Personal interest. If Bondi says no and tells the marshals no, then somebody's going to follow the law, whether it's marshals, FBI, whoever, Secret Service, they're going to follow the law. Like I said, we got bipartisan and anti-Trumpers, some up in there. Whether they're a majority or not, don't matter. And then they're going to be told to get Pam Bondi, and Pam Bondi could go down. When I say go down, she can lose her job, get arrested, and lose her law degree. Remember, the American Bar Association has sued Trump in the past 5 weeks and won. They ain't gonna think twice about taking her license. Her whole career is shot because she's still behind Trump. Are there lawyers that's happened to in the last 9 years? Yes. Yes, lawyers in jail. Lawyers have been ruled. Even Giuliani. People going to jail over Trump. And I'm trying to tell you, their advisors to her side, her attorneys are telling her, don't do that. People don't want to lose their careers out the U.S. Attorney's Office. Plus, not to mention, there's somebody who don't like her ass in the U.S. Attorney's Office waiting for her to get fucked up so they can take over. Politics, baby. It's a big mistake. Here's the other thing that can happen. There could be marshals and so on that say no. Well, guess what? They can get arrested too. Do you lose your job? Here's what you got a choice to do. Do you lose your job saying no to Trump and Bondi and trying to arrest Trump, trying to arrest Bondi or whoever's breaking the law that the federal courts say do? Or do you listen to Trump and then still possibly lose your job through federal courts, but even worse, through federal court, since you didn't follow a federal court order, you're going to get arrested yourself, lose your freedom, and lose your license, whatever licensing you have as federal police and whatever licensing you have as an attorney. It's worse on the federal government side because you're breaking constitutional law. But if you believe so hard in Trump and you're ready to go to jail for him, surely your family, surely your legal counsel is telling you, man, don't do that. They're breaking the law. And what I mean by that is that Elon and them, and that's why Elon's going to jail, they're breaking the law. You don't have, only legislators have a right to go in and shut a federal department down, fire federal people, and there's a process to that. They're losing. So stop going around and letting people tell you that Project 2025 is already set up. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. They're losing. It's a long game they're losing, but they're losing. That means that Elon and Pam Bondi wouldn't go to jail for some time, but they're going to jail. The thing about our justice system has been proven time and time again throughout history. And any historians on here, you know it, which is our justice system is slow, but it's definite. Ask Steve Bannon. If Trump hadn't won, he'd still be in jail. See, even if he pardons Bondi or Elon or anything, they're done with government, which is what we want anyway, isn't it? We want them away from our shit, away from our data. Don't give up hope. Know that there's hope. Keep in contact with your 2 senators and House of Representatives. Email them motherfuckers, whether they're in blue or red states. If you're trying to figure out what to email them, sign up to indivisible.org. Leah and Ezra are the shit. We're winning, and we're going to continue to win. They're fucking up everybody's money. They're fucking up everybody's benefits. They're fucking up things for everybody, especially the MAGAs. MAGAs use more Medicaid, and Medicare than we do. Do you know, and the MAGAs will never ever believe this, but do you know I'm here in Chicago, downtown Chicago. I'm from Illinois, all right? Bears down, Chi-Town. And I'm telling you right now, we pay for a lot of these stupid MAGA motherfuckers. These stupid motherfuckers, they don't even know this. Do you know more blue states pay for red states to have their benefits? And we want you to have your benefits. We disagree with you. We can't stand your funky asses. But we love us, we love our country, and we love you enough to make sure we taking care of you even when you ain't got enough goddamn sense to take care of yourself. And now the MAGAs are waking up. Wait a minute, you coming for us? These dumb people thought they're just going to come for the blues and the browns and the blacks. Oh, they're coming for them. No, they're coming for everybody. We're winning. Project 2025 ain't shit, and we whipping its ass. It's going to be ugly and bloody. They're going to get away with some stuff, indeed. But there's some stuff they're fighting back on. Right now, across the country, you got MAGA people in town hall meetings in deep red Republican states saying, wait a minute. Because they're so stupid. They didn't vote for the economy and for immigration. They voted for racism, prejudice, misogyny. They voted for xenophobia and homophobia. They voted because they didn't want brown people getting a bag, and they didn't want that black Indian married to the Jew becoming our president. They voted because they were afraid that the brown black people would take over the country and they would no longer have their white privilege. And now they realize that it wasn't about racism. It was about repossession. Their shit too. And when they realize it's their shit too, even though y'all don't have to be liberals or Democrats or blues, you definitely got to fight for your shit. Because when you fighting for your shit, you fighting for our shit. And we understood that. You didn't. You fucked around, found out. Now step your ass up and defend our country, motherfuckers. Because Trump, the king, I know you don't like that shit. You're a real Republican. How the hell you going to like somebody calling themselves a king? If you're a real Republican, how you going to like somebody throwing Zelensky under the bus and kissing Russia's ass? You kidding? It's a wonder the spirits of Ronald Reagan haven't come out somewhere and Eisenhower come out and just completely eviscerated that motherfucker. Stand up for your country, not because of us, but because of you, because they're coming after all of us. And the good news is this is a decentralized government, so executive branch don't get to do what it does. It's 3 branches of government, and he don't own all 3 branches. And judicial has been ruling in, even the Supreme Court, but even the lower courts are more balanced and liberal. And there have been Trump appointed, Russian appointed, Excuse me. That's Trump. Trump is Russian appointed. Trump appointed. Reagan appointed. That's what I meant. Bush appointed judges ruling against him. Out of those 20 judges, he's lost 19. We're winning. Project 2025 is not. Keep fighting. I'm Darren Monroe. If you like what I said here on Darren Monroe Politics, you follow my other playlists. I got free subscription. Just subscribe and share with others. Let them know 2025 ain't happening. We got this.